Oh, it's that time again. Once a year, we get to remember what it's like to eschew extra crispy and the effort put into unnecessarily crispify things that have not been crispified and focus our gratitude at the world on this regular crispy day.
And given that we stream on Sunday already, we had to do it this Sunday. That would be weird.
It just occurred to me while we were doing that honestly I really should memorize the St. Crispin's Day speech from Henry V and just slightly modify that. And so every man shall find themselves weakened and humbled that they were not here today on this regular crispy day. Friends, it's been a number. We actually lost count, didn't we? Before.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out which one this was, and we could have probably checked because I think we got. There's a.
Well, I mean, you made it. There's a playlist.
Yeah, there's a playlist, but I didn't go look at it.
I feel like there's more than 5, but fewer than the next next landmark
one was
number.
5.
Oh God, if this one is 5, then that really feels real bad. I'm reaching for my phone, and I'm not going to check this. This is a
no. We will not fact check our own stuff.
Never ever.
Not on stream.
Not on stream. No, because it's all about confidence. Confidence in what you have, and what we have is.
It's at least been 4.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it must at least 4.
At least 4.
I think so. I mean, this is absolutely what we should have at the beginning of all the episodes. Is how long has this been?
I know we definitely did a couple over the pandemic.
And I know that we have, it has been at least 1 year since the last one we did because we keep it in the calendar.
And I think we did one before the pandemic.
Yep.
So this has to be like 4 or 5.
You know what? Let's say
it might be
5.
5.
Let's say,
All right,
for purposes of today's stream, this is 5. And what do we do on regular crispy day? Well, the idea in my mind has always been that it's not necessarily about the consumption, but it's about the appreciation of regular crispness.
I always just thought it was more about us making noises into the microphone, but whatever works for you.
I have some higher-minded goals for this. But the world, it seems, is pushing upon you extra crispiness at every opportunity, and that the idea of what a moderate and acceptably default level of crispness is something that we don't appreciate the way that we should in our lives.
No matter what Ian is saying, while any of that could be true, we are still going to make noises into the microphone. Many of you may not like that. This is not your stream.
It is the way of things, yes. I recall previous years, I got a mouthful left of this, and I'm going to finish it, but I remember in previous years I did try to make the argument that that a beer could be crisp, and this is not. This is like the last mouthful after an hour's worth of sitting in a can. This is not crisp beer, but I have brought crispness with me.
It's good. Yeah, liquid crisp is harder to obtain. I think it can be done, but it's just sometimes you just can't quite get there.
It's very much a metaphorical crispness in that sense, in the same way that wine is described as dry, when it is in fact a liquid, and it is always going to be wet, no matter how dry you want your wine to be. By definition, liquid means wet. And by that definition, crispness cannot be crisp because crispness does not have wetness in it. That's the opposite. They are the polar opposites against which must bang for all eternity.
The weather outside is not as crisp as I would like it to be for today.
Again, yep.
But we are at least entering that level.
We were at a very short time.
For where we live,
where air is crisp before it very quickly turns into squelch, which is squelch with me, Martha. One of my favorite.
We don't want to give squelch a day.
No,
ever.
That's for the crows.
It's not for.
They can have that.
That's not for that.
But Today, and this is only slightly being based upon my own laziness. We've been very sick for a while here, and this holiday kind of is
But we're still making the effort.
Oh yes, absolutely. This today, I wanted to focus more my thesis on the idea about what crispiness means, like what it actually is.
All right.
And for that, I've brought a couple of things for comparison. I've brought a coffee crisp, which hopefully you can believe that it is crisp because it has the crisp right on the package, right in the name. And again, that being said, that would be a regular amount of crispness because it's not advertising an extra crispy coffee crisp or now with more crisp. It's just this is coffee crisp.
I think the wrapping that it's in might sound pretty crisp over the microphone as well.
It does, but believe you me, if you're trying to eat any sort of polypropylene or plastic-based thing, the sound is definitely going to mess you up there. I've also brought along, for comparison and for discussion, a crispy crunch. Again, it does have the name crispy in it. Again, possibly a regular amount of crispness to it, but it adds a crunch, and that's where I want to focus today.
I feel like in that case, does the crunch negate some of the crispy? Are those two things that can mix together properly?
I think it's something that people don't think about the difference between crispiness and crunchiness, and it's I think something that's very important to separate out, because the crispiness is, as we know, it's something that is hard, but then in its yielding to its pressure, breaks in sort of a shattering manner of a crisp, that it goes. You get that sound, you get that feeling, and then this is the important thing, crispiness has to yield to something that is softer or more yielding before it is crispiness. Otherwise, I would posit that is a crunch. Things that are only crisp and continue to be crisp throughout the entire chewing process and only having that crisp are crunchy, not crispy.
So the coffee crisp is a lot thicker than the crispy crunch, which to me says that it could be a lot crunchier than crispier. But they don't advertise them as being crunchy at all.
No, and in fact, there is yet a third candy bar. Would you like half this crispy crunch, by the way?
Sure.
Yeah, great. I don't want to eat the whole thing myself, so. But well, that's mine because it was a floor based. So let's just take a quick crisp of this. See, have a look in there.
It's got a lot of thin layers, but almost together.
Crisp nougat chocolate. You're able to bite through the layers of wafer into the candy nougat, and that nougat is soft and crumbly, so that the crispness has a chance to shine.
Yeah,
but
I don't think that middle layer though. I think it's too thick to be crispy.
Oh yeah, the middle layer is absolutely. I think the
It's
middle
much
layer,
more crunch.
I think the middle layer has actually gotten larger over time in my mind, or sorry, smaller.
But yeah, I'd say it's got crispiness to it.
It has that layer of crisp, and then more crumble, more fall apart, more melt in your mouth. That accentuates the crispness, that keeps that crispness separate from the rest of it, and
Yeah.
that makes it.
You definitely need it, or you'll lose all your crisps.
Now, to compare, I'm gonna crack that in half there in case you want half it, because I certainly don't need an entire candy bar myself. we're going to bring out the crispy crunch. And this is where my thesis comes into play. Is that, let's have a look at that cross section there again. You can see that there are some waferiness to it.
Yeah, but it is kind of. It seems more solid.
It's wafer atop wafer, which to me, you can taste a bit of crispy, but then
It definitely has a lot of crunch going on.
the layer after layer after layer leaves only crunch afterward. And the crispiness it loses its speciality because there's nothing to go against it.
It's like crispy is a quieter person, and then crunchy is a very loud person. So you kind of drowns out the crispy.
Yeah, there's a lack of well-roundedness to the texture. And not to say that crunchy is bad. You can enjoy crunchy. I have no problem with crunchy. But crunchy is not crispy. And that's what I wanted to lay down on today. Is that there's a difference between those two levels. You can have regular crispy, which we do. You can have extra crispy, which you can celebrate any other day of the year as you like. Or you can have crunchy, which doesn't have any sort of organized celebration to
As
it at
far
all.
as we're aware, we're not going to look into that or fact check that.
Oh God, well, no, never.
But
But
time of recording, as far as we know, it doesn't. Go make your own crunchy day.
yeah, but that's what I brought today to today's.
Well, I brought something thinner, which I do think a thinner thing should be crispier. It's on its own.
If it's a single layer, I can say that that's still crispy.
Crisps
Again,
made from vegetables.
right there in the pack, right there in the name. Ooh,
Zesty ranch.
veggie
flavored.
legumes.
Yep. It also says it's been popped and not fried.
Made with real vegetables, popped, not fried. How does one pop a vegetable?
Well, how do you think we get popcorn?
Popcorn, yes, I agree.
Technically a vegetable.
Have you ever popped any other? Like, can you take mini carrots and pop them? Can you take mushrooms and pop them?
Well, I mean, mushrooms have kind of a bulbous shape. They might pop. Eventually. I'm not sure about carrots. They seem a little dense for that.
Yeah, they seem like kind of that would be a weird thing to get popped in your face.
It's showing like some pea pods on here, and you can pop peas out of anything.
I can pop a pea.
You can pop a pea.
Why not? No, to be fair and honest, vegetable chips have been actually one of my favorite snack-based innovations in the past decade.
Oh, it smells like ranch.
Oh, hey, I would love one. Thank you so much. Whoop. Let's get that in there.
It says crave your veggies on the back. That's okay.
I mean-
Tomatoes, beets, spinach, carrots, potatoes, yellow and green peas.
I like all of those.
So, you know,
Yeah. I mean, normally when I crave the veggies, I'll just go out and buy a bundle
But-
with spinach. But
very thin. Got kind of a ripple thing. I'm sure that'll help it too.
there's a slight cheese smell to it. Again, definitely crisp.
I think it has a bit of crunch running in there though.
You think so?
I'll try again.
Okay, I will try again. But
I'm not saying it's like a huge crunch.
Oh, no.
I think your crispy crunch is more crunchy. But I think there's a little bit of crunch in here, especially if you eat it all at the same time.
That's where I was about to lay down my my analysis on this. Is that if you can get through it in a single bite, and it wafers off in a single way, I think that's that's crispy. Like the crispiness of a croissant. Sorry, I got lost in the Arab nature of it for a second. The croissant, again, crispy, not crunchy, because it has that outer layer or up a couple layers of crispness that then gives way to something beneath it. And I think even if it was just air inside, you could still consider that to be crispy.
I think the ripple really helps it. These are pretty tasty.
Now,
I've never had these.
if they did, and I think they could do this. Again, this is wholly outside of our purview of regular crispy on a regular crispy day. But if they took some of the fried or dried, say, soybeans that you can get as a snack, and if they embedded those into the chip, so that in addition to the crisp chip, you also had crunchy pieces of soy nut. Different story. Now we're getting into crunchy. This is also why I would not say that a crunchy bar, which is sponge toffee coated in chocolate. Again, not crispy, definitely crunchy.
I mean, I know it's like Christmas where you're not supposed to just care about the presents. But I enjoy getting the food portion of this.
Oh no. Getting to eat on stream. Always beautiful. Always worth it. Christmas is about the presents.
This is Crispmas.
That's dangerous right there. As Christ sogged on the cross for your crisp. Yeah, I'm gonna put the headphones on actually because I want to hear myself for a second. Though I did give away all the crispy. I think this one's actually kind of old. It feels like it's actually starting to very slightly rancify the peanuts in it, but.
Yeah, it definitely has a lot of a crispy sound.
Especially if you eat it sideways.
Eat your taco bar sideways.
May I have another chip?
Oh, absolutely.
Because I'm going to eat it sideways just to prove a point about crispiness. When you split along that axis, everything, crispiness is normal. And you turn it sideways, you can really emphasize the crispiness. And again, not promoting it, but harder to do. Thicker chip.
So you just say eating a chip sideways was harder to do?
Yeah, it required more skill than I had anticipated, and so I would recommend for those of you who are only novices to just simply try the lateral.
We will not force
insertion.
you to eat chips sideways. It's not the crispy way, but if you are an experienced food eater, you may wish to try it.
What will we force them to eat? In which manner? That's
a surprise, Ian.
Good point, yes.
The crispy fairy comes by and tells you that, not us.
It's unfortunate the crispy fairy has to deliver the food directly into your mouth while you sleep because you really don't want crispy food under your pillow for the 6 hours. It's gonna get crumbs everywhere.
I made the mistake of looking that way. I saw Peter's face.
What should children at home put under their pillows to get a visit from the crispy fairy?
Well, as we know, the crispy fairy is a mouse, so any kind of cheese.
Oh yeah, yeah.
A really good cheese too. Like depending on the quality of cheese, is gonna really develop what goes in your mouth later.
Yeah, cheese is most normally not. If your cheese is crispy, consult a doctor.
Maybe a dairy farmer.
A dairy farmer isn't going to help you heal, Heather. You might get a refund, but you're not going to live. Help, my wife is sick. She's having a heart attack. I don't know about. Have you checked her
I
udders?
didn't realize you'd eaten this cheese. Thought you were just saying if the cheese is this way, maybe don't.
How do you know it's crispy? If you don't eat the cheese.
Okay. You can find out if a thing is crispy without eating it, though. You just break it.
In a specific manner, I hope, not just like...
Look, if I go and I break a person's bones, they're gonna make a crunch sound, not a crispy sound, because bones are crunchy and not crispy.
That's a very
In
good...
the same way, if I take a potato chip, you can tell it's crispy.
Yeah, yes.
I don't have to eat it. It's just more fun for me.
Yeah, it's like bird bones.
I'm sorry, what kind of bones?
Bird bones. Because they're hollow. They're crispier. They fracture better.
I haven't smashed any bird bones. I'll get back to you next week.
I would
that.
hope make sure they're not alive, just for me.
I won't go after your birds.
Oh, thank you.
I'll go after a garbage bird. Maybe a seagull.
Those are the best kind of bones. For crisping, not for anything else.
It's got really dark.
Yeah, wow, this went in a... So if you'd like to celebrate regular Crispy Day, please reach out to your local your local parish, and remember that September 17th.
Also, if you want, you stream yourself next year on September 17th. If you're doing a stream, you should tell people about regular Crispy Day.
Yes, let us know. Tell your friends. Tell your just tell people. Don't tell animals. They really don't care, and
They
probably
don't care.
Well, and they might care, but they can't understand you. That
Well, not unless you've got like animal speak.
true. Do you have to take that like at character creation, or is that something you can learn through?
I picked a druid, so I just get it.
Yeah, no, it's fair. That's just a racial feature.
I want an owl bear, so.
So if you can tell your owl bear about regular Crispy Day, do
Owlbears
so.
have thin bones. Can they fly? Like, do they have hollow bones because they're birdie, or do they only like partially have hollow bones?
That's a very good question. Are they like hollow on the front and solid up back?
Owlbear's solid in the back. What?
I guess the real question is, and we'll have to find that out as an exercise to the viewer, do owl bears float? And if they do, I would suggest that they might be hollow-boned.
In air or in water?
Water. If they're floating in air, then there's probably a wizard involved somehow, so it's not your problem.
Could be. Could be your problem.
It depends on if you make it your problem. I would suggest if you see a floating owl bear, do not make it your problem.
Anything else you need to add?
No, I think that seems like a very successful and very communicative regular Crispy Day. How about you? Anything else you want to put out there into the world?
No.
Great.
No, I think we covered it. It's a little shorter than this year, but I've been streaming all day, so I'm kind of okay with it.
It's not been great, but
Next
thank
year
you.
will be better.
Yes. Have a wonderful regular Crispy Day, all, and we will see you next year.